12:01. It is Wednesday, April 1st. There's no April Fool's joke here. We've got the real deal. We've got Craig Wilburn up in Gainesville. So first of all, Craig, welcome to our audience over here. Let's see, we'll probably have a lot of people joining in the next 5 minutes, and we don't wait for anybody. This ship leaves port on time, as we do in Bold. So tell everybody, introduce yourself to everybody that doesn't know you, a little bit about you and your business.
All right, so been in real estate actually today, and this is not a joke, today is my 18th year in real estate. So we just celebrating 18 years today. And so, you know, we have a real estate team that we built since 2005. And we have about 18 people on the team. Been through Bold 6 times since I came to Keller Williams 5 years ago. And Rich has been our Bold coach for three,
Yeah.
the last 3 years. And anyway, so love the industry. You know, we sell a lot of houses, and we're in Gainesville, Florida. Go Gators! All your referrals you have in Gainesville, you can get my information from Rich, and
Half
we'll
of the
connect
people
and
on
take care
here
of
are
you.
us
Really?
right now.
Okay, all right. So anyway, looking forward to talking to you guys, and you know, and if I can offer any help
I
or
just did
just
on my
ideas,
on my
strategies
notebook.
of what
Hold
you
on a
guys are
second.
doing
Later.
to
Sherry,
run your businesses.
Got to mute it, Sherry.
Whoop.
Everybody can hear you. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah.
So where was
anything I can do?
How many units, or what was your volume like last year?
Last year we did 200 units and about 50 million last year.
Love that.
So we have a lot of admin support staff and about 10 agents. But out of the 10 agents, only 2 of them have been in the real estate industry for more than 12 months. So, you know, we just have a lot of new people that we hired like 8 agents last year. And I've been doing mostly training, you know, training those agents to be successful. And so this was our year to shine this year with all of our folks that are no longer brand new. So now we're having just to regroup the whole entire model to make it work now.
So can we just drill down on that? So you said you've got 10 licensees, 8 of which are brand new. So there's a lot of people either starting to build teams or building teams or wanting to know about teams. So what are some of the mistakes that you've made along the way on building them a team? What are the one message you want to get out to tell people, don't do what I did? What does that sound like?
Well, you know, unfortunately, we don't have enough time to go through all the mistakes that I've made trying to build a team. So I'll highlight a few things that I think are probably the most important.
Sure.
The most important thing I would say is to follow the model. Okay, so you want to make sure that thank you, baby. It's getting I was sitting outside on the porch, and it was kind of cool out. We got a cool day up in Gainesville today, so I had to get a jacket. But follow the model that KW has for you. And what I mean by that, that's the model of the whole career visioning program. We started doing that about 1.5 years ago after I had built and deconstructed my team 3 times in 3 years from doing it the wrong way. And then finally I decided, let me stop trying to, you know, figure this out on my own. Let me just do what's put in front of me. So in 2018, we began to implement the career visioning model. And all through 2019, last year, we hired everybody. It was very time consuming to go through that process. But in the end, you know, we managed to actually connect with the right people to put them in the right seats. The second thing I would say is we built our culture. That's what I think we did in 2018. I was already a producing agent when I was a single agent. And then when I had a small team, then as we grew the team, I've always been a very high producing agent. I closed 55 houses my first year in real estate back in 2003, my first full calendar year working alone with no admin. And so I've always been producer. So I'm wired to produce. I'm not wired to build a business. And so I had to learn, you know, that I can't build a real estate team based off of my personality or my drive. I have to build it based off of using systems and then really implementing the right culture, and then having that culture written down and being able to communicate that culture to all the people that we hire, and then hire people for who they are and that they're the right culture fit. That has been the most important thing. It is very time consuming. but I can promise you it's worth the time. Right now, like I said, I have all these new agents on my team. With what's going on right now in the world, there's a lot of, trouble. We're not selling, we're still selling houses, thank God. We're not selling the level of homes that we did before. There's a lot of uncertainty in the marketplace. I have not lost any of them yet. And so they're all hanging in there, huddling together because our culture is very, very strong.
I love that. So one of the things I picked up, and I just want to drill down on building the team. I've always told people we're by nature, the way we're wired, our wiring inside is we're always looking to take shortcuts. And the truth of the matter is, when it comes to career visioning, Craig, the only shortcut is by taking the long cut. The long cut is the shortcut, because having to start over and over again, it gets a little fascinating over there. For people. So I absolutely love that your model is you're building. Do you prefer, tell me, why do you prefer the new agents over the experienced agents on your team?
So, honestly for us, I don't really have a preference for new versus experienced agents. It's just the culture fit. So there's a lot of agents that are very experienced that I know in my market, even, in our area, who, just are not the right culture fits for us. So we have a very, very specific template as far as who we're looking for and why we look for them. And if a person is experienced or brand new, it doesn't really matter to me. I just want to make sure that they're going to be a good fit on our team. I've built teams before with experienced agents before, and even new agents that just weren't the right fit because I didn't do a good job of qualifying them. And it created nothing but chaos for me internally. So just going by what Rich just said, I know he said this like this kind of Yoda statement, and it's so true. And I don't want it to go, without really digging into it. And that's the long cut is the shortcut. So in less than a year, I built a team of 18 people. I'm talking about admin and agents. Okay, we did that in less than a year. Whereas before, for 4 years, it took me to build the wrong team. So I spent 4 years building wrong teams. And then finally, it took me less than 12 months to build a strong team with the right people that was bigger than any team I've ever had before. So, so that is the shortcut, doing it the long way.
Right. Here's the other thing that I love that you said, Craig, too. You said that you're wired, you did 55 units your first year. That's not normal. That goes to testimony to your heart, because people don't normally do that in their first year unless they're helping people. And I know you well enough to say, I can tell you, you've got a heart of gold. So that was a natural skill set that you had. What you had to learn, which wasn't natural to you, is building a team. So as we come into this new chapter in real estate and life the way we know it with the coronavirus, what new skill sets are you learning now that you didn't know maybe 30 or 60 days ago?
Yeah, almost all of them. Believe it or not, I told my team about 2 weeks ago, I said, I've been doing this for almost 18 years, and I feel like with all that's going on right now, the reset button has been pressed. And I feel like right now, everybody is the same. We're all starting from ground zero, all of us. I don't care how long we've been in the business for, we're all starting from ground zero. And so what we have to do right now is, this is why it's imperative for us always to know who we are and why we're here. Right now we're not, you're right, Rich. I've never believed that I was a salesperson. I came out of sales backgrounds. I had 2 jobs previous to real estate that were both sales related. I got out of sales because I don't like the energy that salespeople bring. I've always felt as myself that I'm there to be an advocate and a counselor for people that have needs. And that's how we run our whole business. So what I would say right now is that we're finding out that now what people need is not necessarily what we think people need is not what they need. Right. What we have to do is we have to have conversations with people and ask them what they need, and then do our best to offer that service to them. So on a practical note, we have gone in and we've restructured our whole internal processes for home buying, home selling. Obviously, it is also very important for us to recognize that, we are very fortunate in Florida, very, very fortunate in this state, that we are still considered essential services. that people that our government has not lowered the boom like they have done in California and Chicago. I have friends of mine that are top agents, and they're out of business. I mean, there's no MLS. They've shut the MLS down. They in California, they've made those agents take all their homes out of the system. So I mean, they're shutting people down, and thank God we don't have that issue at this point in time. So I think it's so important that as we're going out and we're selling real estate and we're helping those people that have to sell and have to buy, that we do it according to the guidelines. You follow the rules. You keep your social distancing. We're doing our virtual open houses, and we're trying to perfect a process to do that right now. And so we're experimenting with different types of opportunities to get people to see our houses without having to physically go into the home. We created an internal document that I'd be more than happy to share with you, Rich. We just finalized it yesterday. That basically expresses to agents in our area of how our homes are to be shown, the step-by-step process of how that's going to happen for the safety of them and for the safety of our client and for the safety of our industry. Remember, if we go out there and we behave in a manner that doesn't seem as though we're doing anything different, they will shut us all down. So we have to get that message out and be very mindful of how we choose to interact with the public. We can't take this thing lightly. So I'd be more than happy, Rich, to share that information with you that you can give.
I would love that, Craig.
Yeah.
You know, I love, the more you speak, when I just listen to you, it's like music, because you always drop these nuggets on us. So what you just described basically is, you know, you going through the real estate career in the last 18 years, you've always been a solution provider as opposed to a salesperson. You listen to people, you ask questions, you provide the solution that fits their needs, not your needs. And that's why you brought up culture and what you're describing as customer satisfaction through culture on your team. And I absolutely love that. You also said something about you're changing things with the virtual showing. So would you be willing to share a couple of things on how you're doing virtual tours, virtual showings, or virtual listings at this time, or what models you're putting into place or standards for your team?
All right. So when it comes to like showings of homes, one thing that we're doing right now, we're going into every single listing, and we're doing a virtual, which right now this is very amateur. Okay, very amateur. Right. It's literally me and I have an Android. Don't hate on me. So I take my Android phone, and I'm just doing the walkthrough of the homes as if I'm touring a buyer through the house, keeping the camera steady, showing the features, showing the rooms, doing a full walkthrough. We've used this now to send to other real estate agents, because there are some agents in our city that will not show houses right now. They refuse to go into a house themselves. So we have these videos on file so that if they have a buyer, we'll send them a link to the video walkthrough. They can send it to their buyers, and they can share that information with their buyers. We're also experimenting right now. We've been doing this for about 3 weeks, like our virtual open houses, where we're going in and we're doing a Facebook Live video, and we're inviting people to come to the open house, and they can see, they can interact. Right now, the way we've structured it, we have one person that's the agent doing the open house. We have another person that's filming, and then we have somebody else that's at home in the office, and they're on the live feed, and they're answering questions for people as they're asking them during the live open house. I just found a post from Sarah Reynolds up in Virginia area. She's one of our top agents in our whole entire company for KW. Great friend. And so what she did is she actually has I just saw it this morning, literally, and I just sent it to my team. I'm going to call Sarah and figure out what she's doing. We're going to probably copy this, rip off and duplicate R&D. What it is that she's doing a thing where she actually schedules the open house in advance, and she's advertising it, and she created a registration link where people can actually register to be included in the open house. And then they can communicate live with the person that's at the open house, but it's a closed event. So I want to ask her how that's worked out for her. She did it, I think this past weekend was the first time they did that. So anyway, everybody's experimenting with different methods of trying to create value and still help the people that need to buy and those that need to sell.
So with the model that Sarah's creating, is that a Facebook Live they're doing, and then they get pre-registrations for a Facebook Live?
You know, I'm not 100% sure. So I know if you go to her, if you look up Sarah Reynolds, and you can look down a few of her posts, and she's got the registration link for it there. I believe it's a live, but I don't know if it's a Facebook Live where everybody can see it, or if it's like a special Zoom live thing where you can actually zoom in at the time that the event's going on, and you can interact by having that access.
So I've got a question from Michelle Wells. It says, how do you upload it? I tried doing that and it was too long to download to my email. Craig, can you pass along that information on how that works?
Upload what?
Michelle, upload, I'm assuming the Facebook Live?
No, you mean upload the video? The house tour video? Okay, I got you. All right, so what we have done is we have actually, we actually do the video, and I upload the video to our Drive account. We have a Google Drive account. I upload the video to our Google Drive account, and then the Google Drive account creates a link. Okay, and then I just copy the link and I forward the link to the person, and then they can use that link to view the walkthrough.
Okay, thank you.
So fantastic. So if I would ask Craig, what does your average day look like now that most of the times we're practicing social distancing or we're in our house working from home? What does your day look like from the time you start work, at what time, and what activities are you doing?
Yeah. So right now my days are varied, but they're very busy. I think I've actually been busier now than before all this mess started. So, you know, my mornings, I'm up early in the day, and I start my days off by just getting my mind right. Okay. So because I mean, literally, I honestly, you know, guys, I go to bed every night. I'm concerned, you know, I'm very, very concerned about the future, about our economy, about everything. And so I usually go to bed every night just, you know, with a lot on my mind. You know, I'm not a single agent, so I'm also looking out for those people, the 18 people that are working with me. They're, you know, like Rich Carpentieri, he's worried about everybody in all of his market centers. He's staying up at night thinking about how to add value. And is when I wake up in the morning, my first thing I do is I get my mental right. So I take some time, I'm in my word, I read the Bible, I'm reading scriptures, I'm reading, you know, things to help myself kind of recalibrate for the day. Mm-hmm. I will exercise in the morning, and then I'll get something to eat. And then usually what happens is, so at 8:30 in the morning, oh, this is a good thing too. We implemented what you guys are doing here for your market center. We're doing that for our team. So for the past 2 weeks, we've been implementing we call it a team huddle. And we get together and we have a 4-step process. We just do it every single morning from 8:30 to about 8:45 to 8:50. It's really short. And we go over gratitude. So everybody on the team shares what they're grateful for that day. Very uplifting. You hear some great stories. We go over any housekeeping things that are going on for the day, like if there's any new updates or things that we're processes and changes that we're making. Then the next thing we do is we go over any roadblocks, choke points, you know, anything that somebody might be struggling with that they want to talk about publicly. And we'll have an open forum for everybody to kind of chime in and give advice to them. And then we'll end the meeting with a quick inspirational moment from somebody on the team. It might be a video, it might be a poem, it might be something that's inspirational that we can end our day, you know, end our meeting, but start our day on something of inspiration. That has been the most productive thing for our team to keep us all together. And we do that Monday through Friday from 8:30 till 8:50 or so. After that, typically my days right now are filled with either calls to clients, because I'm calling the clients, checking up on people, our database. I'm calling people in the database, talking to them, connecting.
What would one of those conversations sound like? If I was one of your clients, what would that sound like?
Hey, Rich, ring.
Hello?
Hi, is this Rich?
It is Rich.
Hey, Rich, Craig Wilburn, how are you doing?
How are you?
Great, I'm doing wonderful, man. I just wanted to touch base with you. What we're doing right now, I'm reaching out to everybody that we know just to check in on you, see how you're making out through all this crazy time that we've got going on right now.
Oh my God, that means the world to me. You're the first person that's done that. So I'm doing pretty good. How are you and your family doing?
Yeah, we're making it. You know, it's been a significant adjustment for us. You know, really, it's been a lot to take in. But we're confident and we're hopeful that if we all do the right thing together, that this thing will, eventually pass and we can get off to whatever that next normal for us is. How about you guys? What have you been doing?
Just a lot of staying at home, watching a little bit of Netflix at night, keeping the kids busy, stuff like that.
And how are your kids managing being home from school a lot?
They're driving me crazy.
Yeah, I hear that all the time. Imagine that.
How's the real estate market doing?
Oh boy, it's actually, it's interesting. It's shifted a lot right now. So what we found right now is that the real estate market, Rich, is mostly those people who are motivated to either buy or motivated to sell. That has been the market that we've seen right now. So, fortunately, people are still buying and selling. We have seen those people who were just casually looking at the market or, not necessarily sure when they want to do it. Most of that market is going away. But right now, yeah, I mean, people are still navigating this road. What we've done internally is we've done some things to, obviously adjust the way that we help people buy and sell. And so it's been a lot of education on our part to have to come up with new ways of doing business and then also, help instruct people that are going through those processes.
I love that, Craig. Mm-hmm. Hoping everybody heard that script.
Yeah. And, again, and that's, I never wrote that down. It's just a matter of, it's just a matter of just saying, hey, look, I never asked anybody to sell houses. I haven't asked anybody to buy or sell a house. It doesn't matter to me. Right now, we're just trying to find ways of offering value to the first. Oh, another thing that we did too, this will be good. And I'm more than happy to share this with you. Or if you go to our Team Dynamo Facebook page and you like it, then what you can do is we have a resource piece that we created. This has probably been one of the best things that we've gotten as a positive response from. We created a whole resource section on our page where people can go and they can click all the different links to all the websites that have information about anything that they would need to get through this time. There's multiple links on there that we've gotten a lot of great feedback. We actually sent that form to our database as well to let them know that we're here to try to find solutions for them. And we posted it through all of our social media channels as well. The key thing is that we're just here to do one thing, and that's to connect with people. What I've said before is this is what I feel about it. This is like a dam, okay? A dam. And when I say, not like, damn, this sucks kind of thing, right. But more so of, this coronavirus is like a big wall, okay, that has stopped the pressure. We were entering into the biggest, Rich, this was going to be the biggest year ever in real estate. I knew it was going to be that.
It still can be.
But this is a dam that's now have blocked us a little bit. But understand, when this thing breaks, unfortunately, we're not all going to survive. That's for sure. Right. But when this thing breaks, the people that need to move and need to sell, what's going to happen is they're going to remember that Irene and Sherry and Frank and Ashley and, Tina, Kimberly, that you guys actually took the time to take 3 to 5 minutes just to say hello. They're going to remember those times, those moments. And so the most important thing, the worst thing you could ever do would be to sit back and do nothing, to be home and be relaxed and just say, oh, I'm home now, forget it, all the market thinks it's awful, and just, don't do that. Don't be that person. You won't survive, because nobody knows how long this is going to last for. All right. So the most important thing to do is to stay connected to people. Another thing, I'm going to tell you this too. One of our agents, our transaction coordinator. Okay. So we have everybody on our team is calling people. It doesn't matter what their role is on the team. Okay. Everybody's calling people. Our transaction coordinator, who doesn't sell real estate, she said to us yesterday morning on our huddle, she called one of our past clients, and it was, the response that she got was that, the woman's she's a single woman, and she was home. She's been home alone, and she's just been lonely, and nobody's talked to her. And she was so grateful for the fact that somebody just picked up the phone and just to say hi. And it was like a 7-minute phone call, So, I mean, don't think that you're being a burden. There's people out there that just want to talk to people,
Absolutely. And I think that's the difference between a sales call and a care call. A care call is we don't need to bring up real estate. They may choose to. We should not. We should just express concern and ask, how are you doing? Is there anything I could do? And one of the things I had Ray on yesterday, Ray Lopez, and he said is we need to stop being realtors and start being resources. And you've just solidified that again. We need to become resources for our people in our database. These are real live people. We need to point them in the direction for things that they need once we know what they need. And the only way to do that is by communicating. So I'm going to open it up to questions for everybody in a second. So what advice do you want to give to agents? What should the agents be doing today to get through? One of the people I had was Brandy Matheson-Klein last week or Monday, and she said that, cows, a funny thing about them, when there's a storm coming, Craig, the cows run away from the storm, and it takes them twice as long to get through the storm, where buffaloes run into the storm
together.
and they run into the storm, they stay together, and they get through the storm twice as fast. So what advice would you give to the agents, what they should be doing right now?
All right, I'll give you two things. So the first thing is that Buffalo story is actually, we went over that in our team back in February. All right, so before all this stuff was going on, I was telling the Buffalo story and how powerful it is to know that, as a herd, we don't just go through the storm, we go through it tighter together. So there's going to be there's a need for us to be closer than we have ever been before, and to charge the storm head on together, because we will get through it faster. And the other thing that we did back in February was, I had everybody on the team in one of our team meetings. I had everybody write down all the challenges that they've been facing recently in the business. Okay, it could be life challenges, any distractions, things that are coming across that were, that have been tough. We made a list on the board of all those things. Then what we did was we made two columns, two categories. Of course, the first one on the left was the things that we cannot control. I want to know what all those things are. What are all the things that you guys can think of that you can't control that's going on right now, and just make a list. On the other side, we made a list of all the things that we can control. And again, going through that exercise is what gets your mind thinking about these things, and then writing it down helps you to see it in clear vision of what things is going on, real life stuff that's going on that you can't control, and what are all the things that you can control. And then we made a decision as a group to focus on the things that we can control. And that would be our mantra moving forward. We didn't even know this was coming when we did this exercise, but I can tell you that was one of the most powerful and timely things that we've done as a group, because it's kept us together, this long.
So focusing on and prioritizing what you can control.
Focus on the controllables. I'm actually.
You still there, Craig? Looks like we might have lost Craig. I'll give him a second to get back on. So utilize this time. What questions are you going to ask Craig when he comes back on?
Very important.
You're back with us.
Yeah. Oh, I left. Okay, I blipped out in the atmosphere here. All right, so I was like, everybody got real still and quiet. What's going on here?
We lost you for about 30 seconds.
Okay, so I'm going to do a class on focusing on the controllables. Okay, so that's the whole thing. It's just you have to know that our energy that we have in us has to be put on things that we can control. Nothing else matters besides that.
Absolutely. Love that. So guys, I'm going to open it up. What questions do you have for Craig?
Hi, Craig. How are you? I have a question for you. Through this pandemic, besides calling your database, checking on everybody, see how they're doing, what does lead generation look like in your team for new business?
That's, literally, honestly, for us right now, because we're being very sensitive to, all the people in the different emotional states. So, in my MAPS coach, we had a conversation about this, and I just said, look, we're not calling people, again, I'm just saying this is what we're doing. Okay. We are not calling people, asking them to buy and sell real estate. We're calling them to see how they're doing. And in the process, they, like Rich did in that little example that we did, sometimes they will say, hey, how's the market? We're thinking about this. Oh, we know somebody that had questions. And then that turns into the conversation. And then we go ahead and help them. I think one of our great lead generation things that's subtle is by supplying resources to people. As we continue to supply information, as we can continue to supply help to people, we're doing that publicly. And so our phone has been ringing a lot from people that want to buy and sell their homes, because they've seen us out in social media. They've seen the emails that we've sent to them in the database. They've seen us doing things to offer value to them without asking for real estate. And now they're calling us because they're starting to see us as being the experts of how to navigate through this process. So that's what we're doing for lead generation, you know, to get people to get the phones to ring.
So at this point, you're not focusing on growing your database. You're focusing on cultivating the database you already have.
We're nurturing, a lot of nurturing right now.
Love that. Love that. Great question, Ashley. Who else has questions for Craig? Anybody else, guys? So listen, guys, I'm going to wrap up because I respect your time more than anything at this point. Craig is in the Gainesville area, and anywhere from Gainesville up to where is your area? If anybody had a referral, I want you to go to Craig because you've been helpful for us. So tell everybody what areas you service.
We service the Gainesville, Alachua County area. So essentially, I don't know how familiar you guys are with the surrounding areas, but the greater Gainesville area spans from on the north end, like High Springs and Alachua. On our west end is Newberry and Trenton. On the east end, we go out to Melrose, the lakes, all those lake areas, Keystone Heights and the lakes, and then south we go down to Micanopy. So that's kind of our greater Gainesville area. And like I said, we love this industry. We love the people that's in our city. And we'll take very good care of anybody that you know moving to the area. We will make you look great, because that's how we feel when we send our referrals out to people. We want people to, you know, have a great experience. We're all about giving people unmatched experiences when they're going through the home buying and selling process. So we will do that for your referrals.
And can I just say something here real quick?
Yeah.
I can personally attest for Craig and his team. They're awesome. They sold my mom's house for her. I'm from Gainesville. I know Craig. I was kind of mad at Craig when he joined KW without me knowing, but we're not going to go there. Yeah, they're awesome. So use them for sure if you got somebody who needs to go to Gainesville.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Does anybody else have any other questions for Craig? So Craig, listen, I love you for helping out. If there's anything I could ever do for you, you know I'll always be there for you, bro. Yeah, brother. You guys be strong. Keep the faith. Stay together. All right. Most importantly, let's make our industry proud of us, right? Yes. This is our opportunity to shine, guys. Yeah. All right, Craig. Take care. All right, guys.
Craig.
Take care, everybody.
Thank you.